What's up, guys? We are back for another restoration video. So unfortunately things have been kind of slow with the restoration build because I'm kind of getting to that point where I either need 1,000 little parts or really expensive big parts. And I kind of need the really expensive big parts to justify buying all the little stuff, like the little missing grommets and bolts and stuff that I need. But there's a couple of things that we're going to do today. First thing we're going to do is we're going to reinstall the fender eliminator kit that I had on there previously. I got it cleaned up and it actually looks like it's in pretty good shape. I think it'll be fine to reuse. And this was just a little cheap. I think I paid like 50 or 60 bucks for it on eBay. It wasn't anything special, but I've got it cleaned up. Got it cleaned up here, and it looks like it cleaned up pretty well. I mean, there's not a whole lot to it. Now, the bottom needs a little bit of work, but I mean, you're going to get dirt and grime and stuff from driving on that anyway. But I've got me some soapy water over here, just some Dawn dish soap, and a wash rag. I'm going to give it another once over on the bottom side. See if we can get this cleaned up just a little bit more. Problem with cleaning it this way is that when it looks really clean, you think you did good, and then it dries, and then it looks like crap again. It's a never-ending battle. But we're gonna see what we can do here. All right, let's get our rinsed off here. This is only going to do so much because I'm not using separate rags, but I mean, it's not going to hurt anything. We're going to go back over it with a dry rag here in just a second. The biggest problem with something like this is they somehow manage to get dirt and grime and stuff in all the oddball places. So it's how they got it as dirty as they did is quite honestly impressive to me. Like, you, sir, if you would have put as much work into actual work as you did into getting this damn thing dirty, you probably would not have had to steal my bike. Alright, so yeah, that works for me. I mean, you could, like I said, the problem with some of these foreign builds, this Chinese build stuff, I had to jerry rig the connector from the OEM tag light, and surprisingly it works pretty well. For me, what I did is I wrapped this up in some wire insulation. Kind of have it sitting in there like that. That works pretty well to just protect the wires. There's really not a whole lot to this. But now that this is clean, I'm going to go ahead and start the installation process. And I'm gonna kind of do this from a standpoint of, if you guys want to do this on your bike, I kind of tell you the steps that you would normally have to go through. Not so much the steps that I'm going to have to go through because, you know, kind of a special case. To start off with, if you've got your own R3 and you're wanting to install a fender eliminator kit, there's two bolts here and here that take off normally what would be a plastic fender piece. That part's going to come off after you take off the rear seat. Once those two parts come off, there'll be a tray that has a bolt going in somewhere in this general vicinity. You're going to pop that out. Once that comes out, that tray will lift out, and then it'll expose this bottom wires. And to get the original eliminator off, you'll take the seat off, and underneath there's the connectors for the tail light and the turn signals, which you saw earlier in one of my previous videos. Look for the tail light install video, the integrated tail light install, and you'll see those connections. In there somewhere, I gotta dig in there and find it, is also the connector for the tag light, which we're gonna be setting up today. So the seat's gonna have to come off. And you've got 4 holes up here, and then 2 in this area where this is going to mount up to. So I'm going to go ahead and pop the seat off, and after we get the seat popped off, we'll start the install. Alright, now that we've got the seat off, we're going to go ahead and start with the install. The first thing you'll see with this install is going to be these 4 bolts. These are hard welded to the fender eliminator kit. It's probably going to be a similar case to the original. I don't remember. It's been so long ago since I took that off. If you need help, there's other videos out there that probably do a much better job of explaining how to get this off. But for the most part, that's the process. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start this process. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to get our bolts ready. Now these nuts for these bolts are 10 millimeters, so you're going to need a 10 millimeter socket. Good luck finding yours. I lose mine on a daily basis, it seems. First thing you're going to want to do is you want to take your connector wire. We're going to run it through this bottom hole here. And it's just going to run all the way through. Pull it all the way up through. Alright, once it's through there, you're just going to line these holes up, and it's just going to push right on in. Now, you may have to do a little finagling to get it in there snug. Sometimes the holes don't line up. And hopefully your nuts are in much better condition than mine. My nuts are rusty old nuts. Rusty old nuts that nobody wants. I'm going to get that one started, and that should hold it. And we're going to do the same with these other 4 now. I will say that these can be a little difficult to get in here because of the wiring. Camera down! Camera down! These can be a little hard to get in here because of the wiring. And I know you guys can't probably hardly see this because the lighting in here blows. Get in there! Alright. That one going. Go ahead and get our 10 millimeter socket. Start snugging that one down. I really don't have a good place to put this camera, so y'all are just going to have to bear with me while I get this sorted out. The good news is I finally decided on a new camera, and I'm thinking about the Sony XR3000 or something like that. I forget the exact name, but it's supposed to be a nice 4K camera that should help us get much better quality video in here. Ah, you bastard. Come on. Come out. Alright. Get in there. Get this side snuggy down. This can be a little bit of a tight fit. Like I said, it's best if you've got a small ratchet, or actually an extension would go great. But God help me if I can find my extension. Actually, you know what? Maybe I do have an extension laying around here. I thought I had one. Do I? Am I that lucky? Have the heavens shined down on me that much? Hell yeah! I got an extension. That makes my life a hell of a lot easier. So we're just going to go ahead and ease this on up in here then. The only one that's a real pain in the ass is this one down here, because all the wires seem to bunch up in this one corner. La-di-da-di-da. Actually, it wasn't terrible. Alright, we're going to go ahead start snugging. Get snuggy with it. Get snuggy with it. By the way, if y'all have not watched the video Shrimp Coats, I advise all of you that are over the age of 18 and not easily offended, go look up Shrimp Coat. Y'all thank me later. Or you won't. But I love it. I find it to be absolutely hilarious. Alright, at any rate, that's back on. So now, got all this extra wire. Again, more wire that just gets kind of tucked up in here and tossed away. Now the actual connector is kind of down here off screen, of course. Turn, maybe. Can you see it? Nope, still can't see it. Alright, maybe now. Okay, yeah. Just a little bitty connector right down here. You guys can barely see it, I know, but work with me here. I believe that is the one. Wait. Is it? Is it the one? Yes, it is. That's the one for the tag light. Get that plugged in. Again, all this wire gets stuffed under here. Now, granted, this looks a lot better when you have the little tray that goes up here that kind of covers all this. That makes this thing look a whole lot cleaner, which I'm going to order a new one at some point. I'm going to have to add that to my list. But as far as fender limiters go, that's pretty much all there is to it. So you can see back here, it's very sleek, very, very low profile. And that's mainly why I liked it, it was so low profile. If y'all have seen the original on the R3, it comes out to like here. I mean, I think you get like a performance increase from the weight reduction. It's ridiculous. I'm going to turn this on. And we have light on that. So, cool beans. That part is finished. I'll tell you guys, it has been really hard seeing everybody out on their bikes. I was actually out today on the other side of town, and there was probably 50 bikes headed to Hooters, you know, just going out riding. And I'm like, I used to be one of you. Makes me sad. But one day I will get out there, and when I do, it's going to be a glorious day. Although I admit that Wow Motorcycles, which if y'all don't know, Do It With Dan talks about them quite a bit, and I got to following them on Instagram and got to looking at their inventory. They have got a amazing deal, I think. I may be wrong, but I think it's a good deal on a Ducati 848 that I would love to have. Ever since I rode the Panigale, I've been kind of fanboying on Ducati for a little while, and I know they got their issues. I know. You know, dash gauges freezing up in the knot, but can't help myself. They're pretty bikes. But so was the R3 before it got reduced to what it is today. But like the Phoenix, this will rise from the ashes. So, the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to try to clean some of this crap up. I've gotten my bucket of soap and water. Some of the stuff I'm not going to bother trying to clean up. Like this here, that's not going to get cleaned up. Plastics are getting replaced. I mainly did that just for fitment, for the tail light, and just to kind of see how the wiring harness was doing back here, because it was kind of everywhere. You know, and then I actually need to take this thing over to the dealership too and have them flush the fluids and everything, but we'll get to that another day. But yeah, I'm gonna get to cleaning, and we'll see what we can do as far as getting this thing cleaned up a little bit. So you can see there's still a ton of just gunk and crap on this bike. It is just nasty. So what I'm going to try to do is get some of that cleaned up, try to get as much of this off as I can, and then we'll go from there. Let's see what we got here. Click on the angle. So I'm working on with, got my rag here, got me some soapy water, and I'm gonna try hard not to get on anything that can corrode, like my clutch cables and stuff like that. Just about everything else, as long as it's not electrical, it's gonna get wiped down, because to me, the benefits far outweigh the risk. And then I can also kind of get a better idea of what kind of damage this thing's seen, because a lot of the damage is hidden by the dirt or the fire extinguisher wet residue. It's kind of hard to tell which is which, to be honest. Let's see if I can stuff this in here. That's what she said. La 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 la. Cleaning, cleaning, cleaning. Ah, you'll despise cleaning. Like this around. Yeah, you could tell they did a number on the exhaust. It's all kinds of scratched up and beat up. I'm not real thrilled about that. In a perfect world, I'd actually like to replace the exhaust with the Yoshimura R77. I really like the look of those. But to me, the R3 is about being economical. I mean, most of us will be riding, you know, H2s like Dan and Finn. Well, you know, some higher end bike than an R3 if we can afford it. Not everybody, but most of us. So the idea of putting a $600 exhaust on a $4,000 bike is, I don't know, it kind of defeats the purpose in my opinion. And if you guys can see, I'm not sure if you can see, but look at the difference between this and this area here, the white and the black. I mean, it's completely different. This is the area I've just kind of barely cleaned any, just trying to get it wiped down. It's just like night and day, and there's so much of it. It's kind of hard to just pick one area to focus on. I kind of want to get this all clean, but like I said, a lot of this is going to be covered by the fairings, but it still bothers me. But we're going to get there. We are going to get there. Even if I have to pay to get this bike detailed, I'm going to get it back to its original luster. One day, though. You can see here the exhaust where they just tore it up, chewed it up. The cover here was on there, but barely. I gotta see what I need to get that replaced. If I don't replace the whole exhaust, I may just rip this whole part out and just put on a slip-on. I'm not gonna do a full exhaust. That's too much of a pain in the ass for right now. Maybe I'll change my mind later. But yeah, this piece here is cleaned up really nice. Really want to get, like I said, the exhaust fixed. I did fix the rear sets, because the only thing that was wrong with the rear sets was the brake pedal. And I was looking for some aftermarket rear sets. These rear sets, I like the positioning on them. I just like where they're at. I think with as small as this bike is, any more adjustment any higher here would be uncomfortable for me, and maybe even any further back may be uncomfortable. So I'm actually happy with where they're at. So I really wanted to keep them. So I just took a hammer actually and kind of bent them back out, and that seems to have worked pretty well on both sides. So I'm just going to rock and roll with that for the moment until I figure out if that's going to work as a permanent solution. So that's pretty much all I've got for this week. I'm going to clean up the bike a little bit more, maybe off camera, because I know you guys don't want to just sit around and watch me, scrubbing stuff. But yeah, this week we definitely got a little bit of headway at least. We got something done. We got the tidy tail done. We got a little bit cleaned up on the side, kind of seeing how well it would clean up. Cleaned up quite well. I was happy with it. I will probably get the bike detailed when it's finished. when it's completely done, I'm going to get it detailed, get all this crap off of here, get everything looking nice for a, I guess you could say like a bike reveal of some sort. You know, I'll probably do some kind of, you know, grand finale reveal at the end when it's all done, which I honestly don't have a time frame. I was hoping to have it done by November, but it looks like with some of the other stuff that's come up with the new job and with Christmas coming around the corner, I got two little girls that like expensive things, may be pushed back a little bit, but not by much, I don't think. Hopefully soon. I'm hoping by the end of December or January we will be finished. But it's going to get pushed back a little bit because I am trying to get another camera. I really want to have a nice camera. Because this one I got here sucks, guys. It does. It's just not good for this. I'm probably not gonna use this one anymore. After that, I'll probably get rid of it, or I'll use it for a secondary angle camera type of thing. I'm not sure yet. But the video quality, the one that I want, is much better than this one, so we'll go for there. But anyway, that's all I got for y'all for this week. Y'all stay beautiful, be good, take care of one another, and I will see y'all next week.